decipher that for yourself.
Like his name being Mo.
Enemy mark.
I mean, there's always going to be a dialect somewhere where maybe that's going to be the case. You can never be too sure.
I forgot he's Irish. Speaking English isn't his first
there
language.
you go. There you go. Early aggression coming up through mid, trying to take some control. They succeeded in doing so because there's no one contesting. And as I say that, you do have sociablEE actually coming out from behind from double, not only finding kicks but headshot connected. On towards one more, and well, that is just an instant denial. They thought they had to play. They thought there was going to be no one there to punish, and all of a sudden we're looking at a flawless pistol round.
I don't know how a team come into a game.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe I hope they aren't expecting your usual eco this time round. Because there's a full speed forward bonk moving into this B side. They've purchased all the way through. They've taken control. Cakes finds the first. Wants to aggressively try and push up for more, at least for now. Block the vision off. sociablEE by the Marshal in the hopes that they're running into opponents without any Kevlar. But little does you know, they're all here ready to fight.
Yeah, it seems like there's actually been a fairly heavy investment into this round from bonk. So they've got the stingers, they've got some SMGs, they've got some pistols and Kevlar. So it's one of those things where it's going to be that little bit tougher for them to be able to break back. And in fact, the duels are all going still on at this point, but one of you is going to fail before the grand final.
You're not wrong. And once again, your analysis is completely on point. sociablEE finds the first. The assist is there for the second and the third and the fourth. Now it's just Sova sitting tight. Hunter's Fury used, but little to no effect, and all of a sudden, I mean, can you save with so much time still on the clock? Are you being allowed to, or will the hunt come through?
It's also whether they'd want to, because the thing is, I don't think you want to allow 5 players to survive, and the fact that they managed to win a 4-spy and pick up the weaponry of their opponents, it means that it's not really the end. Last round, Flux were more than ready for it. Now at least, defense has actually gambled quite heavily towards this A site. sterben, oh, this could be bad. This could be bad. He's got a little bit of support, but he's actually going to tag him up with the cam instead. A bit ambitious from Kicks to switch away from his gun. Even still, though, on the other side of the map, trades have actually gone through towards the door, and it's still a 3v3.
Currently being moved towards BN1s again. I mean, these entry frags just on point. Jinsei, nothing he can really do in that one. And now a 2v4 retake opportunity. There is still a lurk in mid, which they'll have to account for, but both of them coming through straight up towards side from spawn. Of course, not going to be much of a factor, at least not for now. That's going to be a timing peak here.
Gets another flash. Matter of seconds, but he's not even going to use it. Just swings back around, and sociablEE trying to bait someone in with the tap. But the rotation's already coming back through to main.
Sniper, you hope you spot 3 now with the ult coming through. I mean, if this isn't commitment, then I don't know what is. And there you go, instantly! Keiko, I mean, the last 3 rounds, Jinsei hasn't even gotten to fire a bullet, despite the one being confronted first. Because the headshots have been absolutely on point.
They've also used the Seekers, which has told them that there is no one else within this site.
Yep.
It almost seemed like a setup for a retake for the rest of the players. Maybe that's the plan. They've got themselves the Blade Storm available, and killing off the Lurker is definitely going to help. What they don't realize, though, is that was Lurker number 1. Lurker number 2 is still pushing through, but there might not even be enough time. Destructive has to go running, and bonkar needs to buy a little bit extra. Found early by Fireflux. They really are challenging this. An aggressive flash through, but the timing doesn't really work out. Jinsei does, however, find the frag anyway, and in the meantime, look at the attack. They are sprinting their way back towards this B site.
That is so crucial that they catch Destructive there, because I saw them sprinting towards B, as you just said, and they had no clue there was one close. There's one more to find, though. Fortunate, sterben is ready. Oh, finds the second as well. That's going to allow for this push to come through. Fortunately, now slows things down just a little bit to allow for the cavalry to arrive. Jinsei spotted. All this active, though. bonkar sits alone on side.
He's going to be able to pull off much here, but he's landed the shot almost instantaneously and leaves sterben into a tough spot. That'll be enough, and a deep push from yetujey as well. That's an awful lot of info. The fact is, this almost commits them into some sort of mid-play, unless they're going to try and actually put the pressure onto this aggressive Cypher. Now, if he
My eyes are
This
down.
is going to be in real trouble, and unfortunately, it didn't matter in the end because he didn't have a gun.
I was gonna say, had he had at least just a little more to work with, maybe there was a chance, but that one ain't gonna happen. Sterben now playing aggressive again. It's kind of a throwaway round for them. Finds the first, instantly jumps down, goes for the gun. They know that they have them on A now. The dart, the push, the utility spent will give the info across. There is a blade storm available. Curious to see if they're gonna up to try and put more into it.
Just trying to dance around in the cages and while sociable.
He actually does go for anything. That should allow things to get slowed down.
This is
But
basic.
for a moment, full speed forward, tunnels we go. Sterben does get some damage through, but little does he know the entire team is here. Wo0t finds one. Damage done through on towards him as well, though with the 100 Fury in the end it's going to be Kicks to take him down. But again, full control given. But no, actually, as I say that, Sterben finds one more, delaying the push now, 3v2.
Sterben's aim today is just looking grotesque. Now they know that one player's on default, but it's actually Kicks wrapping all the way back around. Juseu looking like he wants to try and find the timing, but more so making sure that nobody's able to encroach on his position while he waits for a teammate to arise. Timing here is going to be everything. The flash, sublime, and sociable gone. And now Kicks has managed to make his move back into this corner. It's something that should be checked, but
On
it
the
isn't.
attack side, Cypher, not usually something we see, but actually, I mean, going back one game, last breeze we saw, Cypher ended up having his most impact on attack as well. bonkar does go down to sociable off of his aggression. Will find the first. yetujey finds one as well. So finally, some momentum going in favor of Fireflux here.
Yeah, a lot of the rounds they have won have been pretty clean. They've just been wiping out whatever the sort of almost gambly attack setup has been from bonk. They've been very all in on a lot of site takes and then slowing it down in the next couple of rounds. Even still though, this A site stack up hasn't dissipated just yet, still relying heavily on the cipher of yetujey on the other side of the map. So there is still some definite potential to find a vulnerability, but he's going to have a fairly early warning system. Well, I say that, as long as they go through B main, which they're not.
Yeah, mid is as dry as
He
can
should
be
hear
when
the
it comes to
steps.
utility. He's gonna see them with the cam as well.
Come
First
on,
one through,
cage
second
three.
one through. Now the
I
first
must wait
cage
a
comes up. Have an idea that he's on site somewhere. First one falls. Can't find the second. Tried to go for both of them at the same time. It's not gonna work out for them, and the plant will be guaranteed. But now a 4v2 retake.
You still have to say that Fireflux have a sublime advantage here, although it's just diminished a little bit. Keiko can't get anything more in Kicks. He has been fantastic so far, but this should be a bridge too far. There's no survival from this point. The problem is as well, is they normally have a stack up in towards these mid doors, but that's been completely dissipated. How far they've managed to get without anybody really noticing.
Yeah.
A counter Viper's Pit. What is that from Wo0t though? That Viper's Pit's gone within a second, just snapping onto two heads. Bonkar's almost dead as well.
Gonna get the third.
Yep, there you go. Eventually, we'll close it out. And he's got the spike now. That was the spike walking into the Viper's Pit. Somehow, though, this has actually come back down to an advantageous position. Wo0t having to do everything. Now, they're going to expect that he's just going to sit within this Viper's Pit. Now, it will eventually drop. And unfortunately, with nobody pushing towards him in time, he's not...
Seems to be the case here this time around. Though Cypher is going to be helped by both Soba and Viper. Kicks there, ready and waiting. Not going to peek early. Do go for it second time round though. juseu, first one to fall. Wo0t finds one in return. Phenomenal pistol player. Sterben there to fight one as well. Now 3v2. Plant hasn't come through just yet. And the remaining two players from bonk are coming in through mid.
An attempted fake flash that had to turn into a real flash. It hasn't really done too much to the opposition, and while in terms of utility, it's all out. Sterben leaves it now. Luckily didn't lose any of those in the last round, but they did lose everything else. sociablEE is just running it all the way through. It's definitely been heard. bonkar, a few shock darts here and there. Just have to give up his position. Needs to be a little bit careful. Already being pressured with the flash.
They can be now going into elbow as well, but unfortunately he's kind of gambling wrong here. Now, with the utility being spent towards A, that's where the commitment is. Flash is going to hit the entire team pretty much. So that's going to delay for a little bit. Spike though will come through.
Oh dear. Oh, right back. These pistols are just going crazy again. Yetujey, now not having to solo anchor, is able to come alive individually. Bear in mind, this was a weak purchase for the side of Fireflux, and it's not really been the rifles that have actually done anything. Yetujey trying to just hold his position will eventually go down, but he's done enough in this round.
Oh yeah.
And the remaining players, I don't even think Bonk can go for it. It's one they never do much of a way in. Straight away, though, this is looking like a much pacier attempt, but Destructive has just spammed through the Viper screen and managed to just remove. Oh, and he gets rezzed and insta-killed by Bonkar. That's just brutal.
They found my wire.
Sometimes just cannot catch a break. Kicks comes through, but just turned on instantly.
Yeah, they tried to fake flash. He actually looked away, but still managed to connect the shot looking back around. Even still, though, Seekers is going to reveal the remaining few players, although you thought they would. It's actually been destroyed, the majority. Sterben winning that solo battle. No other teammate really too close by. And because of that, well, I was going to say we're even, but Keiko has quickly found another kill.
I mean, how does Sterben stand for as long as he does? Let's see if there are any lineups in play. Oh, have to hop off. Behind one, traded instantly in return.
Towards the spawn.
Keiko giving that angle up, finds Jinsey in the middle. I feel like Jinsey hasn't even had a chance to get started. Every time we've seen those amazing early shots, amazing like instant headshots coming through, Jinsey has been on the receiving end of them. It's got to be demotivating that even though you consider yourself a good player, you're just getting traded or taken out before you get to fire a bullet every single time.
This is tough as well. 30 seconds left. sociablEE and mid with an operator. The remaining two players just trying to get past the Viper screen. Wo0t has been able to find one, though. This is going to open up a little bit of extra space, especially with that Viper's pit. They might not necessarily expect sociablEE to still be lurking around this angle. Sure, they have a man deficit. And actually, he's using it out of the ult. It gives away his exact position. They've also found nothing off the knives. This now tells the remaining players that he has to be within this pit. Wo0t, though, we've seen how good he can be, especially in these sort of scenarios. A whiff shot and it's onto the youngster. 16 years old, 3 players to find to try and level things up. The first will go his way, and the snake bite definitely going to help him out. The dash through gets nothing, and Ace needed to close it. Not quite reloaded. It is going to be close, but not quite close. Impressive start to the half from Fireflux. Even still, though, they've got quite a lot of ground here. They've also managed to catch out kicks. So much information found just by the Hunter's Fury, but they don't actually clear the closed corner. Destructive still just doing his best to survive. He's going to get pincered from both angles, and while Wo0t won the battle anyway. An impactful few entries. It's those supportive players finding the frags, and trying to find some space here. They know they need to clear out this player in mid, but it would involve a wide swing to get rid of him, and well, I don't know if there's any benefit of trying to make a play anymore.
I was gonna say, just actually try and go for this one now. Having caught one on the backside. I mean, they know they have them split. They know they have them all over the place. Had they read them stacked on site, maybe there's a fight to take. But now, 2v4, time working against you. Make that a 1v4. If you can, just get the hell out of there. And that's exactly what Keiko has done. Save the AWP, have it come into next round. But look at the hunt coming through. They are not about to let this operator go into the next round.
Whether they can get to him in time. Just playing around the back of the door, unless somebody opens it to reveal his position. I don't know if anybody's going to find him on the crosshair, and if they do, I could only assume he's going to get caught. Again, it was the story of the first half, and it seems like, well, everything is repeating itself here.
Yeah, kicks with cages to work with, but really nothing else to try and slow things down. The plant will come through. 4v5 again.
Oh, you rat. You absolute rat. Just sat in the back lines. Another kill from juseu, though.
Ooh. Okay.
All right. Bringing at least a little bit of pride to Ireland. Some nice shots for him, giving them a chance in this round, but that chance seems to have dwindled, running their way in towards the B side to try and support. Now, they've still got Kix's utility set up here, but the rest of the squad are slowly walking their way in. They have been caught by the trips, though, and they're running out of time. 12 seconds left on this clock to try and make a move. Nice shot from Wo0t. This kid is so damn good. 3 kills to give them a chance, and they're just about going to get the plant down. Doesn't seem to be a way to deny it. Again, the youngster has given them some hope, but it's on
And that's
to the old dog, the experienced players to do the work, and well, now leaves it all on to sterben. 1 versus 2. Make that one 12 HP versus Destructive. He needs that.
The pace of this one gonna be slow. Maybe not if you ask
Doesn't have any
sociable though.
flashes left. Normally you'd expect someone to make a move. I like it. They're going to use the drone to try and catch him from behind, but it's gone past him. This kill is as free as can be. Not expecting anybody to be that far through. A nice trade though. Keiko makes sure that that's not going to go too wrong. He is stuck though. Hunter's Fury is available, but it seems like sterben opting not to use it. Another great flash to at least force them back a little bit, but now all that utility is going to dissipate, and it's just going to be down to the jewels.
Only now the Viper rotates from the other side. Woot unfortunately doesn't find it there. Would have expected him to do so with what we've seen from him so far, but the spike does come down. All juice, but instantly denied. Keiko finds one, juseu finds the other. Third one goes down. Now that's going to be in the side of four.
Oh my!
sterben, okay, I see you. I see you making things look easy. How does he know? Kicks finds him. Maybe heard him jump down.
This might not be the push in that direction.
Yeah.
An interesting screen to sort of try and take deeper control. And again, juseu just using his utility to delay. The problem with the screen is it definitely gives an angle for them to play around. It's not pretty though. And sterben somehow he gets both. Spins on a dime with a double kill and gives them the man advantage.
I mean, for him to still in situations like these is absolutely clutch. yetujey finds one more now with the push up through ropes. Does spot it with the cam while inside the cage. No, not needed. Gets the info that he's out on the bridge, forcing him off now in a 2v4 retake attempt. You'd have to imagine that this is going to be committed to. Bonkar, first to fall. Destructive makes a run forward.
What a round from sterben.
Jesus Christ, with
I
the
don't
bulldog
understand
too.
how he gets both of those kills. Yeah, the bulldog normally not the most forgiving of weapons, but clearly we've got another maestro of that gun. Destructive, desperate to try and bring this into the next round. We've seen the success of Keiko in so many scenarios. He is being hunted though.
There's no way he actually commits to clear.
He's gone all the way through the A site, so they have so much information that they can actually gamble stack B without really having too much of a risk. The thing is though, Fireflux plays so desperately slow, but Gensi has been able to find another kill, so turning it back into a 4v4 scenario.
And that's where it gets scary, right? Because that's their only flash just taken down. And I know that, I mean, clearly they haven't necessarily been needing them coming through, but a lot of times you've seen Sinri go down as the first player. And that's utility they would have wanted on this push coming through.
Oh, Bonk is in trouble. He's been hit by something. Or maybe not! They were in trouble. I guess somehow the snake bite just buffed him. The IGL, 3 kills, Blade Storm still there. It needs to be a ridiculous clutch out from the side.